We're learning Zila Nishmas Etta Ahuva Basakim Maseches Quinim Perek Beis Mishnah Gimel. So this is another confusing Mishnah, but it's really no new halachas. It's all based on, I shouldn't say no new, but be'ikr, it's based on the klal at the end of Perek Beis Mishnah Aleph, that goizel pareach, that if a bird flies puzzle, and it becomes puzzle, meaning one bird in the new group becomes puzzle, upaisel echad kenegdai, and one, its partner from the old group, also becomes puzzle. So the group that it flew out of has one that's puzzle, and the new group that it flew into has one that's puzzle. So the Mishnah says, the case over here is that there are 7 different ladies that have birds, each a different amount. Lazu achas, lazu shtayim, lazu shalish, lazu arba, lazu chamish, lazu sheish, lazu sheva. So the first lady had 2 birds, 1 kan. The second lady had 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So the first halacha is parach min harishayna l'shniya, l'shishis l'revis, l'chamisha l'shisha l'shvius. The bird flies from kan 1 into the second lady's קינים, and then from the seconds into the third, and so on until it winds up, or we don't know which bird, but the extra bird winds up in the 7th group. So at that point, the halacha is going to be that that lady number 1 that had 2 birds, 1 kan, now only has 1 kosher bird, because a bird flew out of it, and the halacha is that when it flies out of it, we just said that when it's pareach, it's paisel echad kenegdai. In the second group through the 6th group, 6th lady, so then they go down 2 because they had a bird fly into it and then fly out of it into the next group. So they'll all go down 2, and in the last group it will only go down 1 again because just they have an extra bird in there, so it will go down. Instead of having 14 birds that they can makriv, they can now only be makriv 13. But the Mishnah says, Chazar now went back that same route. So it went from lady number 7 into lady number 6 and all the way back until it got to lady number 1 again. So the amount of birds that each lady had originally is what they have now. And at this point, again, it's going to go down. Lady number 1, which we said had 2 birds and 1 became puzzle, now has none that are kosher. And lady number 2 that had 4 birds that were kosher, and we said that she lost 1 on the way in and 1 on the way out, now has again, on the way back, has lost 1 on the way in, on the way back. So altogether, she lost all her 4 birds. So it comes out, the first and second ladies are not going to have any birds that they could be makriv that. And then from lady number 3 to lady number 6, each one went down basically 4 birds, or 2 kinim, and therefore hashlishis has yesh la'achas that could be makriv, harvis yesh la'shtayim, chamishis yesh la'shalish, shishi yesh la'arba, so that's all easy. The difference over here is the shvius didn't go down as much, yesh la'sheish, which is 12 birds altogether, so she only lost 1 on the way in and 1 on the way out. The Mishnah now says what happened. The same story happened again, parach v'chazar. But over here, 1 and 2 are already out. They have no birds that can be makriv. That's going to be the last line in the Mishnah. We'll just speak it out already now. If it flew from birds that are mechuyim misa that you can't be makriv, so then they're all going to be a musa. So we can't be talking over here that it flew from group 1 and 2. So we're only talking about that it flew out of group 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, and 6 to 7. Again, on the way in and on the way back. So now again, it's going to be basically the same exact halacha. The shlishis and the revius. Shlishis v'revius is ein lehem klum. Hachamishes yesh la'achas with 2 birds, 1 set of קינים. Shishis yesh la'shtayim, and the shvius yesh la'chamesh. Again, the 7th bird only went down 2, so she has now 10 birds to be makriv. So she's going down the least because since she's at the end of the line, she doesn't have way in, way out, and then again back, way in, way out. She only loses 2 every time. So the first parach v'chazar, she went down from 14 to 12, and now she went down from 12 to 10. So she has 10 birds, 5 kinim that she could be makriv. And lastly, the Mishnah says again parach v'chazar, which now we can't be talking about bird lady 1 through 4, because they all already have 0. So we're talking about it went from lady number 5 to lady number 6 to lady number 7, and then again, chazar back to the lady number 5. So now that knocks out number along that same cheshbon. Chamisha sheshishis now is ein lahem klum. Hashviyas sheish arba, 4 kinim, 8 birds, because again it only goes down to 2. V'yesha imrim hashviyas lo yefsida klum. V'yesha imrim, the Mishnah holds that since after this halacha, lady number 5 and lady number 6 are ein lahem klum, so they have nothing to be makriv. So now if they have nothing to be makriv, so what's the whole chash always with this? What's the whole reason behind this halacha of that goizel hapereach is paisel esek kinegdei? The vart is because if you're being makriv it, so then it's gonna define if you're makriv it above, it's gonna be an oil. If you're makriv it below, it's gonna be a chatas, and it's gonna define what its pure is. But over here, where the chamishas and shishas is ein lahem kum, they're not being makriv anything, so it's not gonna define what's in the 7th. And therefore, the 7th would remain with the halacha of the step before in the Mishnah, that it has 5 kinim. Yesh lechamri. Taisis Yantav over here brings the mefarish that bavarns that really, at the end of the day, since lady number 1 to lady number 6 are all not bringing anything, so then lady 9 and 7 should be lo yefsida klum. You should teach it that all 14 birds she had originally, all 7 kinim should be makar. But ayin sham that. Why we don't say that? Last line in the Mishnah we spoke out earlier in Parach Bein Amesis Lekulam Ari Kulam Yamusa. Mishnah Dalet is a lot easier in Cheshbon. There's no real Cheshbon. It's really based on what we learned in Perek Aleph Mishnah Beis, that if a Vadai Chatas or a Vadai Oila gets mixed up with a Kan Stuma, so then it's Yamusu Kulam. Because you can't be mak of any of them, you don't know where to do it. The way the Mishnah says it is that you had a kan stuma and a kan mufareshes. You have 2 kinim. One was stuma, you don't know which is the oil and which is the chatas. And the other one, we do know which one's the oil and the chatas. And now, parach min stuma and mufareshes. So the mufareshes has a vadai oil and vadai chatas, now mixed with another bird. So that all those 3 birds are all yamusu. But the bird from the first group is Yikach Zugusheni. That one you could just get another pair for, just like we learned in Perek Beis, Mishnah Aleph. However, if now, from the 3 birds which Yamusu goes back into the first bird, or if Mitchila, it was Parach Mina Mefareshes Rishon, from the Mefareshes flew into the Stuma, so in the Stuma now is a Vada Eila Vada Chatas, Hari Kulam Yamusu. Now it's a oila or a chatas that got mixed up with stomachs kinim, that the halacha is it's yamusu. Just to speak out more clear, as I'm saying it, when it says parach min mufareshes rishon, it means either the oila or the chatas flew into the first group, and therefore the remaining mufareshes we don't know which one it is. If it's oila or a chatas, but if we know which one flew out, then you will be able to bring the remaining one as oila or chatas. That's a chayr pasha.